what makes it clearer?
So I deliberately stepped out during rehearsals because I wanted to experience that just as you did. Please give Blessing another round of applause. And to just clarify even further for us, I met him in the tunnel as we walked in earlier on. I'm going to ask Mr. James Aling, Executive Director of Spaces, Places and Partnerships, to tell us a little bit more about what we've just seen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and wonderful to see a lot of familiar faces and connect in person with all of you. And I was saying to my colleagues a little bit earlier that it's almost a combined celebration. Last year, Riverside had its 25th anniversary, but obviously with the COVID and the lockdown regulations, we never got an opportunity to celebrate it. So it's great to be able to do that tonight and also reveal our new marketing strategy, elements of that, and the new look and feel of the new brand. So it's my pleasure and privilege to talk you through a little bit the journey that we've been on. And I'm going to talk about the new marketing strategy, elements of that, and the look and feel for the new brand. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the strategy development journey, the strategy outcome, elements of that, the pillars and the clusters, the evolving brand, the new look and feel, and the rollout and the interventions. And so there's quite a lot of marketing speak in all of this, so you must bear with me as we work through it. And I'm not going to be doing the sort of song and dance that Blessing kind of did. I can not imagine to kind of move around, and thankfully he did that, and I just need to talk to the strategy and the look and feel. So following on from a visioning exercise that we did at Riverside back in 2018, where we looked and discussed with a number of stakeholders, where do we see Riverside in the future, in the next 20 and 30 years? You know, what is the vision for Riverside, and how do we set a path that we can sort of get on that will take us to that point? And one of the key elements to come out of it and key action plans was to look at our marketing strategy and our brand. And so early last year we engaged Shift Consulting Group, who specialize in place making and place marketing, to work with us in developing the marketing strategy for Riverside. So there was a process we went through, a kind of discovery and deep dive, which were a lot of conversations with property owners in Riverside, key stakeholders, people from the university, botanical gardens, from the business sector, to get their sense of where Riverside is and where they see Riverside going, what we need to tweak and what we need to do. There was a process of exchange and exploration in that to kind of start identifying what are the kind of the golden threads and the themes that kind of run through the conversations and how people view and see Riverside. Then there was a kind of strategy mapping that we embarked on with the consultants to start sort of putting down, this is the strategy and this is how we think, what people are articulating, what we think as a team that have been involved with Riverside for many, many years. This is how we think we need to kind of put it all together in a strategy that we can sort of combine into a marketing strategy. And at that stage, it became evident that actually we're sitting with two SIDs, Riverside Industrial and Riverside Park, which had kind of evolved separately, but there were strong synergies and also the adjacency in terms of geography. And then kind of the natural thing was to sort of start looking at a brand development and start saying, well, how do we treat these two, distinct but similar and adjacent SIDs that are in the same sort of geography, known as Riverside. So part of that was understanding Riverside as a mixed-use node and the evolution of where it's come over the last 25 years, understanding where Riverside finds itself now and where we're going in terms of the visioning exercise we did, understanding the lie of the land and competing nodes. You know, when we started off, we were kind of the only real sort of node, but the region's developed and the other nodes that have developed, understanding our comparative advantages and unique characteristics. And as I mentioned earlier, we did this through a lot of in-depth consultation, interviews and meetings with a number of stakeholders. So this diagram really talks to kind of some of the traditional SID kind of models. On the left, you see the traditional sort of hierarchy, which starts with kind of crime and grime and cleaning, and then landscaping, security, safety, and you move up this sort of Maslow's hierarchy to kind of creating a place of an exceptional place. And the consultants we were working with saying Riverside has evolved from that traditional to more of a innovative shift to integrated placemaking. We've got the place, it's developed, largely developed, although there's still development happening in Riverside. And how do we pull all those developments together and make something special of that as a unique destination? So from the discussions, there were 5 themes that emerged that kind of were the pillars of the strategy. And those were kind of talking to Riverside's strategic advantages. They were talking about something that we can continually build on them. They were talking about collaborative development of these strategic pillars that we could that had longevity, that had legs. We could kind of work at them through partnerships across budgets and between sectors. So the 5 pillars are really local leads, business and more, the voice of one place, the green outdoors, and the world of operations. And I'll unpack those for you a little bit. So if we look at local leads, we've got some unique kind of destinations and places in Riverside. You know, we're home to the Botanical Garden, we're home to the provincial legislature, we're home to an amazing kind of riverine kind of environment that surrounds and holds, you know, both Riverside Industrial and Riverside Park. And so there's some unique aspects to Riverside that kind of are ours and that we can celebrate. We're right next door to the university, which in time, you know, we're going to develop the synergies with that campus. So there's the local lead that it's ours, we can be proud of it, we can celebrate it, and we can showcase it and invite people to be part of it and enjoy it. There's the business and more. I mean, it's a strong, very strong commercial node, but it's also, there's a residential component which is growing, and there are going to be some exciting new developments that are happening in the short term in terms of augmenting the residential development. There's the nature offering, there's the leisure offering in terms of the Tsogo Sun offerings, there's you know, the lifestyle, and there's just a host in the light industrial offerings that, you know, if we package all of those, we see that, sure, it is business and more. The voice of one place, if we kind of combine all the offerings, we kind of get a stronger voice and a single identity. And it's a kind of, you create this destination where people can come to and they can basically get in everything that they need and experience a whole lot of experiences. It's the green outdoors, as I mentioned earlier. You know, Riverside is kind of flanked and bordered by 2 amazing rivers, the Crocodile River on the sort of southwestern and southwestern and eastern, and the Nels River on the northern side of this node. Something that kind of we in the process of unlocking and kind of bringing to life in terms of opening it up and creating access to the public to enjoy these magnificent riverine areas. And as I mentioned, all of that anchored by the Botanical Gardens, kind of the jewel in the crown. And then it's the world of operations, which is largely the 2 SIDs that are kind of managing this area, managing the space, the public spaces in it, keeping it clean, safe, secure, attractive, you know, and kind of marketing and eventing and all of that sort of thing. So those kind of unpacking the 5 pillars and the clusters around that. So it started to evolve that Riverside and the new strategy is kind of about kind of creating a single place brand for Riverside. Because when you speak to people, they don't say I'm going to Riverside Industrial Park or Riverside Park. You know, they just talk about Riverside. It's like Umhlanga. You don't talk about Umhlanga Ridge or Umhlanga Rocks, it's Umhlanga. And so it became quite apparent to us that there's one destination, and it's Riverside. So Riverside was promoted as a destination precinct with multiple place offerings, sectors and activities. There won't be the fragmentation between the two SIDs. So we'll see a kind of morphing of the look and feel between the two SIDs as we kind of establish one brand, one destination. SIDs will be the driver, the operator and the custodian of Riverside. And there's a need for a specific set of brand assets for the SID. And I think this marketing strategy and the brand collateral that comes with it puts our marketing team in a much better place to be able to build that brand equity. So the new Riverside brand identity is really about identity to seek. It seeks to create a modern yet timeless brand that serves as a strong place identifier for everyone. So it's about this sense of place that we kind of unifying the two SIDs to create one strong sense of place, and that is Riverside. The R is dominant. The waves we've kept, but we've changed them. That's another depiction of them. And on the right, you'll see the kind of effectively that badge or stamp of approval, which talks to it as a city improvement district. And it's a brand that really underpins kind of some key drivers of growing economic value in the destination. It's about a brand that talks about a unique kind of visitor experience. It's a brand that talks about developing this place and the branding around it. And it's a brand that we believe is going to excite visitors and investors and developers in this node. So the brand must be, kind of recognizable. It must allow for marketing attributes of Riverside to be the brand heroes. It needs to capture the essence of both Riverside, the two SIDs, Riverside Industrial Park and Riverside Park, as we've merged the two into one brand. The letter R is a strong, distinguishable, recognizable element of the brand, and we've kept that. It's the anchor of the place identity. It stands alone as a symbol, form, and we'll see it repeated in many forms in the brand collateral and the brand language. And the choice of an open letter is kind of given the open R to give that flow and that movement. The waves which we had, they've been adapted, and they're reflective obviously of the two great rivers that flank and almost surround Riverside. The wave element denotes the evolving nature of this mixed-use place and the layers that make it unique that it is. And the colours, we've kind of retained the teal but brightened it up, which is the core colour of Riverside Park. We've added the green from Riverside Industrial, and we've added effectively the golden yellow that reflects the warmth of this place. So in terms of the SID application, the SID is the driver, the operator, the custodian of Riverside, and the place marking strategy that serves to steer Riverside, the place. So even the SID version, the brand, the R is dominant, the SID logo, the R is dominant. And it's kind of effectively, it's been incorporated into the place brand for use in SID-related applications. So the look and the feel, and part of it was creating this backdrop, this texture, this pattern that would support and kind of hold the brand. And the importance of that pattern is to create a framework for the brand and give it a sense of identity, culture, and association. So it does not hang in a vacuum by itself. And the Sweshwe-inspired backdrop pattern gives texture, it gives depth, it gives origin and meaning. It's a canvas for the message or the posters. It's a theme for the place, its offerings, and its experiences. And this Sweshwe-inspired pattern was chosen due to its Africanness, its movement, its variety. It's all held together by its connectivity. So talking about the outfits for the 5 pillars, or the look and feel for the 5 pillars, local leads, that effectively will be underpinning when we promote in our media campaigns and events. You know, if we're talking anything about the local leads, this is going to be the look and feel of those events, those campaigns. The orange, obviously, the colour of warmth, kind of joy, and all of the kind of things that you can read on there. And then you'll see the icons and the symbols about what it is that makes Riverside unique in terms of its local place, its local offerings. The business and more, kind of the colour blue, really one that talks to trust, honesty, dependency, all of those good values that one kind of wants in business. And again, the icons and symbols will be around opportunity, clean, secure, prime location, etc. So that would be the kind of outfit when we kind of promoting businesses and business clusters. The voice of one place, strong red, sort of shouted out kind of colour, and that the symbols there about value, unity, common goal, kind of shared vision, offerings and heritage. And by combining the two SIDS into one sense of place, having a stronger voice of one place. Then there's the green outdoors, in terms of our green assets that we have, and the plans to unlock those and celebrate those and open them up to the public and the community at large to enjoy them. And symbols there are connected. It's explore, have fun, and it's the unique fauna and flora that we have not only in botanical gardens, but in the riverine vegetation that we have around us. And then the world of operations, kind of symbolized by the purple color, and that's around safe, secure, clean landscaping. Kind of it's monitored, it's managed, it's looked after, it's cared for, which is largely the business of the SID and the two SIDs that manage the combined area. And collateral, we've got the brand outfits. It's now, how do we start to roll it out where people will notice the difference and notice the freshness and notice that there's something different and unique about what we kind of shouting out about. And it's about branding our entrances, corners, and updating our urban design manuals between Riverside Industrial and Riverside Park, so we get that common theme and look and feel moving between the two areas. It's about celebrating and kind of branding the key corners and the circles, whether it's the R40, R37 intersection where the big Easter bunny was over Easter. We've just kind of, with the municipality, been able to adopt the P166 R37 circle, which is a mess. Anybody who knows that, at night it's dark. I don't know how many accidents happen over that circle, but there's a plan to now kind of really kind of take over that circle and manage it and beautify it and do something special with it. And it's about the R40 Government Boulevard intersection, the Hardy Corner, doing something kind of special there. It's about adopting the historical bridge over the Crocodile River, the R37 bridges, and using those as branding opportunities. It's about promoting the pillars and clusters and the offerings through our media campaigns, both social media and the other media campaigns that we'll be rolling out in the balance of the year. And it's about unlocking the green outdoors, and we've been working with partners, municipalities, Sandy of Botanical Gardens and Hall's Properties on the Greater Riverside Biodiversity Initiative, and looking to start the first phase of that, of cleaning up and opening up some of these amazing riverine vegetation environments that we have around the precinct. It's about activating the areas in the Botanical Gardens, a beautiful area for events and the community to get together. And it's about looking at initiating a street art program in the public spaces, so we can carry that branding, that pattern, that look and feel through to the public, that when you come in and you do get a very strong sense that you're in Riverside and this place is unique and special. So who's the team that are going to be rolling that out? And so this is the SPMP, Spaces, Places and Partnership team that are the management agents for the two SIDs. And if I can ask them to stand up starting from the left, the lady that's been responsible for kind of rolling out the marketing strategy, the branding, and tonight Jessica Prim, who joined us in January as our marketing manager. So she's got her hands full. Thank you, Jessica. Then we've got Clint Wesley at the back there. He's our ops manager, man on the ground, dealing with potholes, and working with our service providers and keeping the sit clean, neat, tidy, and together. We've got Lucia Ngobeni, who's our office and admin lady manager. We've got Siobhan Wiggins, who's kind of taken over from Renata as general manager of SPMP and the Riverside Park sit manager. So, yeah. And then Leandri, who's the Riverside Industrial sit manager and our financial manager as well. So that's the team that's responsible for rolling out the strategy and implementing a lot of these brand interventions. So the future isn't a place we're going to. It's a place where we're going to create. It's a place we're going to create, especially here at Riverside. So thank you, and join us on this journey as we kind of roll out the strategy and the various interventions that I've touched on. And thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate this launch and the reveal of our new brand and the look and feel. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Another round of applause for James Aling, please.